Hey everybody, John Skiba here from the Consumer Warrior YouTube channel. I'm also the founder of the Arizona Consumer Law Group, a bankruptcy firm in Arizona. And today I'm going to give you the top 5 reasons why you should consider a Chapter 7 bankruptcy if you're dealing with serious debt issues. Now, no one takes the Chapter 7 bankruptcy process light. I can tell you, I've been doing this for 22 years here in the state of Arizona, helped thousands of people file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, met with 10,000s more. And I know that the decision to file Chapter 7 is a big one. It's something people struggle with as far as actually taking that step. There's a lot of guilt, there's a lot of anxiety, apprehension about the process. I want to give you in this video 5 reasons that you should consider it if your debt is to the point where it's really overwhelming. Now, the first one is just that. It's debt relief. There are a lot of different ways to deal with debt, whether it's debt settlement, debt consolidation, all those types of things. When it comes to debt relief, there is no equal to Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Chapter 7 bankruptcy eliminates almost all credit card debt, personal loans, medical bills, basically any unsecured debt, with the exception of most taxes and student loans. All those other debts, they go away completely. So particularly if you're finding yourself just with overwhelming credit card debt, the monthly payments are just gigantic. You're not able to afford just basic living expenses. A Chapter 7 is not only going to get rid of all those debts, it's going to bring debt relief almost immediately. And the reason it does leads us into our second reason why Chapter 7 bankruptcy can be a big benefit. That second reason is it stops all debt collection. As soon as a Chapter 7 bankruptcy case gets filed at the bankruptcy court, they immediately enter an order called the automatic stay. And it truly is automatic. We file this electronically with the court, and immediately we get an order back that's mailed out to your creditors that tells them, look, you got to stop. There's no more phone calls, no more letters. They can't pursue wage garnishment lawsuits, foreclosure. Everything stops. This applies to everybody, including creditors like the IRS, SBA loans. All types of collections have to stop as soon as the bankruptcy case is filed. So the number 2 reason you should consider a Chapter 7 bankruptcy is if you're really trying to get everybody to stop with the harassment, with the emotional toll the debt collection takes on a person day to day. The third reason you should consider Chapter 7 bankruptcy is that it's a relatively short process. Now, bankruptcy is a federal process. It's under the federal law. And in most cases, when you're dealing with federal lawsuits or any kind of legal proceeding with the federal government, it can take a long time to process anything. Chapter 7, though, is a relatively short process. The typical Chapter 7 bankruptcy, from the day the case is filed until the court grants you a discharge of your debts, usually takes about 4, sometimes 5 months, which, when it comes to federal court, is smoking fast really to do anything. So 4 to 5 months from now, here's the way to think about it. You file your bankruptcy 4 to 5 months from now, you could be completely debt-free in a lot of circumstances. The fourth reason you should consider a Chapter 7 bankruptcy as opposed to debt settlement or even a Chapter 13 bankruptcy is, in most cases, Chapter 7 does not require you to make any type of payment to your unsecured creditors. Now, it's important to know when it comes to Chapter 7 bankruptcy, secured debts like car loans and home loans, you need to continue to pay those if you want to keep the house or if you want to keep the car. But unsecured debts, again, credit cards, medical bills, personal loans, those debts are almost always discharged in the Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and that the Chapter 7 process does not require you to make any payment to those creditors. If you're dealing with debt settlement outside of bankruptcy, you're probably going to pay anywhere from 40 to 60% of the total amount that's owed. Even in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, you're going to be required to pay some amount to these unsecured creditors. That's not the case in Chapter 7. Chapter 7 eliminates the debt completely. There's no payment plan that you have to make to those creditors. You're able to get your discharge and really move on and get that fresh start that you hear about when it comes to the bankruptcy process. Now, the fifth reason that you should consider a Chapter 7 bankruptcy is that in most Chapter 7 cases, you can keep all of your assets and still eliminate the debt. Here's what kind of the big picture of a Chapter 7. Chapter 7, they're going to eliminate those debts, like I said, but they look to see, do you have any non-exempt assets that can be sold for the benefit of your creditors? Now, most of your belongings and assets are protected by exemptions in the state of Arizona. If you're watching this and you're not from Arizona, Most states also have their own exemptions, and there's even a federal set of exemptions that protect various assets. But for Arizona, where I practice law specifically, for things like the homestead exemption, currently in 2025, the homestead exemption protects up to $425,000 of equity in your home. Vehicle exemptions protect up to $15,000 of equity in a vehicle. If you're married, you can double that, up to $30,000 in two separate vehicles. You can protect up to $5,000 in cash in your bank account. If you're married, again, you can double that, up to $10,000. Household goods, retirement accounts, all of those types of things are fully protected under the Arizona exemptions. So most people, well over 95% of people who file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy in the state of Arizona, don't lose anything. So you should be able to keep all of your assets. Again, it's important to meet with an attorney like myself to be able to know exactly if there's going to be any risk there. But in most cases, losing asset is not a problem at all during the Chapter 7 bankruptcy process. So just as a recap, Chapter 7 bankruptcy provides immense debt relief, stops collections, is a relatively short procedure, does not require you to make any payment to your unsecured creditors, and in most cases, you can keep all of your assets. Hopefully that's helpful. If you're in the state of Arizona, my information is below. I offer a free bankruptcy consultation to all Arizona residents where we can discuss your situation specifically and help you to become debt-free in this new year. Thanks for watching.